Or,
right.
Oops, wait, no.
Save it. Save
wait,
your cool story for the break, Thomas.
Peggy 12.
We've had reports of rogue sticky notes replicating across this sector. If you don't cut back their numbers, this whole place will be yellow by morning. This crisis ain't over. Now get through the containment door to the next zone. Safe room dead ahead. Might contain something useful, but it'll probably attract a lot of... Oh, you already opened it. Never mind. You sure kicked the nest. There's hiss all over you.
Stand back! Piggy's coming out!
I'm paper! You gotta shoot him off me! Last containment door's open. Go, go!
I think I heard something.
All right, crew. Time to clean house.
Jerry, I'm working on a recruitment poster, and I need a slogan.
What about Firebreak? Help us, help you.
Too soft. Let's go with You Need Us.
This place is hotter than hell. Get out there and get that heat under control.
Oh, God, it burns. Oh, that's better.
It gets hairy out there. Watch your back.
Sticky.
I'm pink.
Back to work, buddy.
Thanks.
There's too many to take them all down. Focus on saving your skin.
Elevator.
Job done. Drop your boots at the incinerator. Get on home.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first FBC Firebreak Developer Update stream, whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, or Steam. My name is Julius Fondem. I'm the community manager on FBC Firebreak. Let's introduce the rest of our team on stream today.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike Kayada, game director on FBC Firebreak.
How are you doing today, Mike?
Doing swell, Julius. Thank you.
Thanks for taking time from your busy schedule to be here. I know you're a very busy man building the game. And also in chat, we have Senior Community Manager Vida Starachevich.
I don't pay no attention to the woman behind the curtain.
Those fingers, that's Vida. And she will be making sure that you have a great time in chat. Also, later in the stream, we will be joined by our communications director, Thomas Puha. Mike, in case someone hasn't been following FBC Firebreak, could you give them a rundown of what the game is?
Yeah, absolutely. So FBC Firebreak is a cooperative first-person shooter for up to 3 players, launching on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series S and X, all set within the iconic Control universe. Now, you don't need to have played Control to enjoy Firebreak, although you should play Control, it's a great game, but here's just a quick primer on the world you'll be stepping into. So the oldest house, the impossibly strange headquarters of the Federal Bureau of Control, is under assault by a violent and chaotic force from another dimension called the Hiss. And to keep the Hiss from spilling out into New York and beyond, the FBC locked the exits, trapping them inside the building and the FBC's employees as well. And here is the thing. This lockdown has now been in effect for 6 years. 6 years stuck in your place of work. Sounds great. People are dying, maybe not so great. Critical supplies are running out. Policies and procedures are now failing. Enter the Firebreak Initiative. So you'll be playing as a member of Firebreak, first responders who volunteer to take on the weirdest and most dangerous paranatural crises spreading across the oldest house. And these aren't some kind of specially trained elite task force. They're secretaries, rangers, and middle managers, all suiting up in manufactured armor, using guns and custom tools to put down the hiss and bring the Bureau back under control.
Thanks, Mike. So we've announced the game is coming out in summer 25. With that in mind, could you tell us where we are currently in the development of FBC Firebreak?
Sure. So at this point, all of the major features of the game are done, and we are now hard at work making sure all of the many pieces that we have fit together as they should. So I'd say our main 3 goals right now are number 1, clarity, and that means making sure players really understand Firebreak's features and systems. The second thing is balance, which is making sure those features and systems are actually fun, fair, and as engaging as possible. And finally, bugs, which is making sure those features and systems actually work as intended.
And of course, by bugs, we mean taking care of bugs, not adding bugs.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So we're in the late stages of the development of this game. We're tuning the game experience to be what we want the players to experience. And it's actually pretty crazy to demo the game live in front of all of you in chat and watching at home. We usually don't do that. And contrary to what you might think, games don't always get more stable the closer you get to launch, because we usually want to cram in as many things as possible in the last months of development, which can leave things very unstable at this time of development.
Yeah, definitely. So let's hope today's demo actually holds up. Actually, at Remedy, we've never done a live stream like this at this stage of development before, but with a game like FBC Firebreak, we think it's extremely important to remain direct and transparent with all of you, and that's why we wanted to give you this early look, warts and all.
That's right. With that said, let's do a little run of the show so you know what to expect from today's live stream. We'll be giving you a live demo of one of the jobs in FBC Firebreak. That's what we call missions in our game. We'll be playing Paperchase, which you might recognize from our gameplay trailer that you saw during the intro, where your goal is to destroy sticky notes that have been replicating across the executive sector. The job culminates in facing off against Sticky Ricky. We'll also give you a sneak peek at one of the other jobs called Hotfix, where a paranatural furnace is causing the maintenance sector to overheat. Around the 1 hour mark, we'll be taking a 10-minute break to stretch our legs, and over on Twitch side of things, we'll run ads so that we can get rid of pre-roll ads there. Then, towards the end of the stream, our communications director, Thomas Puha, will join us to reveal the release date and deluxe edition content of FBC Firebreak. Now then, let's get ahead into the demo itself, so into the game. Let me set this up.
Let's do it.
Just a moment. There we are, and then I'll make so chat can also see it. Boom. All right, here we are. So this is the game. I have a controller right here. I'll be controlling this thing, and yeah, this is the live demo of the game. This is a build that is a few weeks old, so there's been stuff going in already, but let's talk about what we have here. So we've chosen Paperchase. Mike, can you talk about clearance level?
Yeah, sure. So first thing to understand, as we said, this is an in-development build. So a lot of the things that you're seeing here, these elements, are actually being worked on in development. Some of these have already changed inside of the game. So don't take anything too specific here too seriously. But yeah, let's talk about clearance level. So in this game, jobs kind of work like game modes. And you have a few different things that you can do to adjust that mode to your liking. The first one is something that we call clearance level. Now you can choose 1, 2, or 3 once you've gotten them unlocked. And clearance level maps to how many zones you're going to take on when you enter the job. And this happens to also map to how long your gameplay session is going to be. So you don't have too much time. You can jump into clearance level 1, like we're going to start with today. If you want a full or complete experience, you can go all the way up to clearance level 3.
Cool. And then can we talk about threat level?
Yeah, so I mentioned that, clearance level is one way to customize. Another way to customize is the threat level. Now, this is what you might consider to be combat intensity. So how often are the hiss coming and interrupting your work so rudely? We actually have a third lever as well, which is pretty exciting. We're not going to get into it today, but it's called corruption, which lets you handle things like modification to the experience and randomization.
Interesting. And an important thing to note about specifically our menus, because the point in development where we're always, like Mike said, focusing on the clarity of the game, and a lot of that means updating our menus and changing things based off feedback. So these menus that you're seeing are not final. Now then, we have a crew ready here. Let me introduce our two other players. So this is Senior Communications Manager Miika Huttunen and Junior User Researcher Henrietta Satamo, who are joining us to play today. So we have a full crew. Before we jump into the job itself, Mike, let's talk about loadouts. Could you explain the concept of loadouts in the game?
Yeah, absolutely. So Firebreak can go in with one of three types of crisis kits, which is our word for saved loadouts. Now, each of these loadouts is based on a special set of gear that is centered around a tool and sort of auxiliary pieces to that tool. And then you can further customize it with any gun that you have and any grenade type that you want. And even though we're not going to get into it in the stream tonight, whatever sort of like perk build that you want to create as well.
Right. So let's talk about the different kits that we have. We have three different kits. Let's talk about the Splash kit first.
Sure. Yeah, so this is the Splash kit. This centers around something that is called the crank-operated fluidic ejector. Rolls right off of the tongue. You can definitely just call it ejector for short.
Or coffee.
Or the coffee, yeah. And what this tool does is, as you can kind of see in that preview video here, is it spits out a bunch of globules of water. And this is really great for a lot of things in the game. Putting out fires, definitely one of the main things that you're going to do. You can kind of stagger the hiss with a charge shot with these huge globules of water. You can make a lot of them soaked at the same time, priming them for different combos with a bunch, clear harmful conditions from your friends, etc.
Great. Then next, let's talk about the Fix kit.
Yeah, so the Fix kit is basically just about a gigantic wrench. You can hit enemies with it to knock them back. You can hit machines to break them. You can hit machines to repair them. You can hit components to build them. Basically, you're going to run around a lot hitting things. This also comes with, you can see in that video here, what we call the swivel turret, which is basically a giant cannon that someone has strapped to a wheelie office chair to help you out in combat.
Awesome. Then, last but not least, the Jump kit.
Yeah, the Jump kit is probably my favorite kit. I guess I shouldn't play favorites too much. And this one actually came into being in the same way I'll describe it now, which was, what if we combined a defibrillator with a pogo stick? And that's exactly what it is. So basically with this thing, it's obviously great for mobility. You can hop around, get to really, really high places in the game, get away from danger pretty quickly, and also inject things with shock. Now, you can make that an enemy. You can also do that a battery that needs charged to kind of get the heater going in a machine or otherwise power a device in the game.
Cool. And I'm going to go with the Jump kit for this time around. So now we're ready to jump into Paperchase clearance level 1. So we're just going to be seeing one zone, right?
Yeah, exactly. And since we're jumping into clearance level 1, typically this is kind of an onboarding experience to kind of just understand what a crisis is like, what a space is like, what you're trying to do. So this is going to be very short, and very short by design. We're also going to go in at a really low threat level to try to keep things a little calmer while we poke around and get a good sense for the game.
Cool. They're coming in.
All right, so we're entering through the service elevator. This is what we always do. This is how we kind of, it's how we jump into jobs. And it's also where we're going to leave the job when we're all done. So it's our way in and our way out.
So our shower is over here, which is our main healing mechanic, but it's broken. But luckily, we have Henrietta with the wrench, and then I can, because if I go in there now, you'll notice that the water, actually I already electrified it, so it's warm now. But it would have been cold if I hadn't electrified it. And actually we have some enemies that are going to come towards us from the behind. Guys on floating chairs.
like you do. But yeah, the shower is a great example of the sort of things that you're gonna kind of use your tools for. I'm sure Julius will show you in a little bit, but of course, like you can use the tool, get that done really efficiently, warm up the water, turn it from a small drip to a big kind of gushing amount of water coming out of the shower, or you could do neither of those things and heal in the cold, slow down, and not get very much at all. Now you can also deal with those things without the right tool, but that comes with its own dangers and efficiency problems, which we'll showcase in a bit.
And showering together, always more efficient, so shower with your buddies.
Yeah, it's definitely a good water-saving technique.
Yeah. So let's go look around a little bit on the map. I'm going to jump up with the impactor, the electrokinetic charge impactor, I believe. Rolls off the tongue.
Yes, yes.
So we have a bunch of sticky notes everywhere. So what are we doing in this job again?
So this job is all about getting rid of these replicating sticky notes. They look so innocent there on the floor on those dead bodies. Maybe not so innocent, but basically when they're dry and when you're dry, they're going to leap onto your body as you walk past. Now that is actually one good way of getting rid of them, as long as you shower them off before they take you over and consume you. We'll see a little bit more about that later. But for now, of course, they're a bit pesty, just kind of obscuring your vision. You should probably wash those things off before you're completely blinded. And we're trying to just get rid of them from the level. And you can see that big counter going down in the top. Lots of things get rid of these. One of them, and the best ways, is actually just like I get rid of sticky notes in my real life, is to get them really, really wet and then throw grenades at them or shoot them with guns. Of course, what you just saw is a great combo here. You get them really wet, you can hit them with the impactor, creating a big chain effect of lightning. And of course, if there are any hiss there, they're going to get caught up in that, and your friends might get caught up in it too. So be a little bit careful when you
Speaking of the hiss, they're coming in here. Let's try to find the safe room while we're looking around.
Not a bad idea.
Let's give him a grenade.
A welcoming gift.
Oh no, he's a big guy.
Yep.
I'm going to actually try to shock him.
Yeah, good idea. What you guys are seeing here is called a breaker. This is actually a hiss that you haven't seen before, Firebreak, mostly because that's actually a member of Firebreak who has very unfortunately succumbed to the hiss resonance and is now quite a nuisance.
Here's the safe room.
Cool. Yeah, so this is a safe room. Now you're going to find different safe rooms all over the place. And in these safe rooms, what you're going to do is open them up if you want, go inside, find extra ammo, find extra grenades, and you're actually going to find a currency that you can pick up called lost assets, because the most important thing in a crisis is to recover the paperwork. At least that's what the FBC thinks. Now, if you bring those assets out successfully, which is to say that you don't die and get back on the elevator with them, you'll actually be able to bank them and share them with your friends, and this is the primary way that you're going to collect currency in the game. The other great thing about safe rooms, although it doesn't matter quite as much in clearance level 1, is that it also opens a respawn point in the unfortunate event of your premature death. Now later, if you go deeper and deeper in the level, this obviously becomes a lot more important. Otherwise, you're taking that elevator down, once again, quite far away from your team.
So we have a bunch of enemies coming in. I'm going to drop my improvised device here.
Yes,
Boombox.
Boombox. Pun definitely intended. This is a type of device that when you charge it up, you kind of actually, it's the one thing that you actually need the tool to do. So it's pretty special for the jump kit. That's going to actually attract a lot of hiss, and once it takes enough damage, which you can help with, or you can just let them kind of hit it on their own, it's going to go boom.
Let me show you.
It says it right there on the tin. You're a bit far back, but I don't blame you. Cool. And actually, we haven't mentioned this, but you guys are actually in what we call evacuation. So that means that your objective is done. The FBC says, hey, good job, guys. You're completed.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Optionally, try to get out of there and survive. So what you're going to need to do now is get all the way back to the elevator, call it, wait for it, and get on while the hiss are very, very aggravated.
They are very aggravated.
They're very aggravated.
They're so angry.
Yeah.
Why are they so angry?
Someone in chat wants to let Henrietta know that she's doing a great job.
Henrietta, you're doing a great job.
So and you guys got some big enemies coming at you now.
I'm going to juke them.
Yeah, these guys are definitely easier when you've got a team.
Oh, here's the humidifier.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so this is obviously just an office water cooler that somebody has poked some holes in. It's really great at spreading water. You can also see somebody's hit a few of the sprinklers up top and set them off, creating even more water.
Oh, we can go in.
Oh,
come on in. All right.
All right, awesome.
Bye-bye.
Nice work.
All right. Contained. So that was clearance level 1 with just one zone from Paperchase. And there we have the results screen. Can you talk about that a little bit, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, like all things is still being worked on, all the data is getting plugged in and so forth, but you can kind of see a little bit about what you did best and what you kind of brought to the table with your team. This is our simple view. Basically, the most important thing to know is that you beat the mission, and it's also going to tell you who survived. So in the event that you leave somebody behind, their stats will be here, but that they will not be.
Yes.
Question from the chat. Do you have unlimited revives?
You do not have unlimited revives. Actually, you have something called crew lives, which will go down every time that you actually die. Now, there's two ways to go down. The first one is to get knocked down, and your friends can help you up. I'm sure we definitely won't see that today, Julius, since you're really fantastic. But if it were to happen, you would see exactly what I'm talking about. And that's actually one of the things that you need to think about when you decide whether or not to kind of just give up, splat on the ground, and come back.
Yeah. Sorry, for some reason, the game did a thing I didn't expect. So
No.
let me just reset the party.
Okay.
So this is the fun of showing a game for you live. These things, they happen. I will reset our party, but it'll be done.
You know it's not scripted.
It's not
Yeah,
scripted.
exactly.
No,
Exactly.
it is definitely not scripted. Give me a moment. But meanwhile, someone was asking about the ping system in chat. Could you mention that briefly? Because we do have a ping system.
Yeah, of course, and we'll definitely show that off in the next playthrough here. Yeah, so we do have a ping system. Obviously, it's fantastic to talk to people on the mic all the time, and it's never horrible or annoying, especially if you've had a hard day and you just want things to be quiet. And in those moments, which I have quite a few of, it's really great to have some systems that don't involve voice chat in order to communicate. So ping was very important to us. You can freely ping the world, but you can also get a lot of contextual pings, which highlight specific things and help to kind of communicate what you want. We also have a voice wheel where you can call out specific things, such as grouping up or just saying hello, thanking somebody, or cheering the rest of the team on.
There was also a funny question. Do we redact our documents when we're working on the game?
Oh, this is an interesting question. Do we redact the documents? Yeah, we do redact the documents.
When working on the game, Mike?
Working on the game?
Yeah.
Yes, well, okay. I mean, it's part of the process. It is actually quite fun to both create the document and then to redact it and say, this would be a horrible thing to redact. Let's cross this one out.
All right, now we're back. Let me switch so the chat can also see it. So we're going to do Paperchase again, but at clearance level 3, what does that look like? What's the difference?
Yeah, well, fortunately, we're going to see what that looks like in person in just a minute. But really what the difference is again, those clearance levels actually map to the number of zones that you'll need to complete before triggering evacuation. Obviously, the more that you do, the more rewards you're going to have an opportunity to get, the longer the session is going to be. So clearance level 3 means you're going to kind of take on the entirety of this crisis, all 3 zones.
Correct. And then we have moderate threat level. How is that different to low?
Yeah, so moderate threat level is a pretty significant rise in challenge. I definitely think you guys are up for it. This is kind of what we think about as maybe the default experience in the game. As you maybe can tell, threat level is something that we didn't want to kind of lock. We didn't want it to feel like, oh, I have to progress to get harder and harder. This is a little bit more akin to a difficulty level that you would see in a single-player game where you find the thing that feels right for you and that's how you play. Now, that said, we do hope people rise to the challenge and therefore will reward you if you take on the harder challenges.
Great. And you might notice that there's not one, but 2 characters on this screen right now. And you've heard them in our trailers as well. Could we talk about Hank and Jerry quickly?
Yeah, so first, Jerry. So Jerry is the gentleman with FBC stamped on his back there. So Jerry is actually a bureaucrat. He reports directly to Arish, and he is there to kind of keep Firebreak in check, because if you couldn't tell, Firebreak is a little bit anti-procedure. They kind of come and get the job done. They can't be bothered with red tape. That's why they only were formed, of course, once the crisis started. And so Jerry is maybe the hopeful idea was that he'd be a bit of a mole control, making sure that everybody, fills out the paperwork and stamps the forms and stays under control. But of course, he's not a villain. He's there for the team, and he's a really good guy, as I hope people will get to know as they play more of the game and hear his conversations with Hank. Hank, if you haven't figured it out yet, is currently inside of that gigantic tank right behind Jerry. We do lovingly call this the Hank Tank. We actually even have an office at our studio we've called a Hank Tank.
Yeah, the meeting room, right?
Yes, exactly. Where we actually work on the game. As to why Hank is in a tank, well, some mysteries are left for the community and for the game experience. But Hank is the founder of Firebreak. Hank is the person who's in the intercoms, helping guide you, and who you've also heard in the trailers.
Yes. All right. So now we select that. I'm going to still stick to the jump kit, and Mika will have the splash kit, and Henrietta will have the fix kit. So we're fully kitted out. So let's jump into clearance level 3 of Paperchase, so you get to see the whole thing. Yeah, there was talking. That was Hank talking right there. You couldn't hear it, but I could hear it. I have the headphones, so I could hear it.
Oh, I always hear Hank.
All right, back on the elevator.
All right, cool. So we're going to start the same way. It looks somewhat similar so far, right?
This is Hank Hill. Dang it, Bobby.
I'm not going to do my Hank Hill impression. I am from Texas. I don't want to be judged.
Oh, they're so fast. Can you explain why they're so much faster?
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now?
Yeah, so you may notice that there are some fires burning out there in the darkness, which is another thing that has changed. A few extra things go under the hood, of course, with clearance levels. And after 6 years of being stuck in the oldest house, the hiss are an ever-evolving threat, and one of the things that they have developed is sort of an energy reaction to being around heat and fire. And so that means when they heat up, they actually get faster, they get stronger, they get more chaotic, more violent. Now, the good news is if they get too hot, just like everybody else, they will light on fire, but it is still a good idea to put out every fire that you find to cool them down. Oh, hey, look at that. The lights are back on.
Lights are back on. So Henrietta fixed them with her wrench. She can quickly fix them. But let me actually show you, if you were to fix without the proper tool, what does that look like? Because there's some electricity over here as well.
Yep, just watch out. You got some company here, too.
I can take care of them.
Now, another great thing about the ejector is that the ejector can actually cool down the hiss. So when I was talking about all these different ways to get them kind of wet before, that's actually a way of debuffing them. What you can see Ilias doing here is actually working without a tool. He's doing a rapid-fire mini-game trying to get it in there, and for each one of those inputs that he failed, he actually ends up taking damage. You can also try to put fires out with your hand, just patting them down. We've got the left button and the right button on controllers, kind of simulating your hands going down, and if you mess up, you will get burned. I think I just saw someone blow up a fire extinguisher.
Probably.
Not the best way to put out fires, but it works. Oh, geez.
I'm down.
All right,
Team out.
One of the mistakes there, now I'm just going to criticize you.
Yeah.
One of the mistakes there was actually you saw his shield broke quite quickly. In this game, it's really important to stick together with your crew because you actually have a resonance shield that is amplified when you're closer to your team. So the farther away you are, the less shielded you're going to be. And later, if you have really... Yes, exactly.
Diva down.
And especially if you have like very, very strong perks on later, you can actually share the effects of those perks with people close by as well. So you're not really punished for not being nearby, but you are definitely rewarded for sticking together. You need to maybe skip
to redeploy.
right to the redeploy. Yeah. Now the cool thing is if you skip to redeploy, well, not so cool. You drop whatever currency you're carrying. Fortunately, you weren't carrying any yet, but you could, and you're not going to, maybe. But you could actually change your crisis kit here. So if you feel like you've got the wrong gun for the situation, the wrong tool, here's a chance to change it up.
I'm back.
All right, you're back.
Immediately getting pummeled. Let me just get some heals from this.
Diva up?
Diva up.
All right.
Yep.
Ooh, you guys got some nasty stuff. I think what I hope everyone is seeing here is, we mean it when we say the threat level has gone up. Things have gotten a little bit more intense here. All right.
There we go. He's done.
Oh, actually, I just saw somebody's using the teapot. Now, the teapot is an altered augment. You can see it's firing napalm. Don't get hit. That's actually... So what's happening here is that the ejector actually has placed an altered item on top of it, which is a teapot, and it's going to kind of absorb all the steam coming off of that tool in order to boil the tea, which, of course, superheats all of the water inside of the tool into basically lava or a superheated tea that lights everything everybody and everything on fire, including your teammates. So be careful with that.
Boom.
Oh yeah, you guys need to start
They're
making
all
some progress.
We are. We just
Oh,
cleared
hey,
the
look
zone.
at that.
So now we're going to open the door to the second zone.
Awesome. Now, of course, opening doors, safe doors, or containment doors is always a little bit dangerous. As you can see, it tracks quite a few hits to your location.
So let's put this down.
Now, there are perks later in the game that make you a little bit more sneaky by oiling those hinges and making sure that you can kind of get away with it without this happening. But we have no such perks on today.
I got hit by something major. Let's see if my team can make it to me.
Down.
Diva down. Okay, I'm going to skip to redeploy. Actually,
boy.
no, wait, no.
Wait,
no,
come
no,
on.
no,
Come on.
Okay.
Have some faith.
Can you
Maybe
get me
not.
friends?
I have a question from chat.
Go ahead.
While we're getting the diva up. Did you guys consider destructible environments like in Control, or would it have been too much
Yeah, I'm
for a
gonna-
multiplayer game?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. I mean, of course we considered it, and it would be completely amazing. In multiplayer, we have to really focus on performance. We have to really focus on things that make sense in this type of game. Now, of course, we have tried to pack this game with all sorts of different effects. Some lighter destructibility, you'll see, of course, like the sticky notes going flying. Some other kind of light things will break and create a big kind of visual spectacle. But in terms of, like kind of true destruction, no, we have kind of shied away from that.
All right, we'll get
Again,
some
just
ammo.
prioritize some gameplay performance.
Okay, team, let's head to Zone 2.
All right. You guys are doing okay. So somebody asked, of course, if you have unlimited revives. You do not. You can see down in the lower left. Right now it says volunteers. That's actually your crew lives, and you guys have
Let's wait for Mika.
5 chances.
All right, let's go.
I said ominously.
He said ominous.
Whoa, okay, so now you guys are seeing some escalation of the crisis here with these guys, which are called shufflers. Now, you did see some of these sticky notes on corpses in the last zone. Well, this is what happens over time. And guess what? It can also happen to you if you're not careful and if you get too many sticky notes on you. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
And they're really annoying enemies because they basically hide from you, and if you don't get rid of them, they replicate.
Yeah.
Like the sticky notes do.
Yeah, but they're full bodies, unlike just little basic notes.
Yeah, so let's try to find a safe room. Oh, there it is. There's the shelter.
Yeah,
so,
definitely. Now, you're going to want to put that fire out. Now, you can contextual ping that fire. Try to get somebody over to help you put that out with the right tool.
Mika, can you come over and take care of the fire? Thank you.
Well done.
And then we open that. So now we have a place if I happen to fall once again, like I did so eloquently earlier.
Elegantly.
Then we will respawn there instead of the elevator at the very beginning. Only shock this guy so he can't do nothing.
All right, get in there. Now, in there, you'll see you got a little bit of cover, some sprinklers. We're picking up some ammo now. You get a grenade. There's a lost asset up there I just saw you picked up. And, of course, if you need a little bit of a healing drink, there is, of course, a faucet for a tiny sip.
Oh, here's some.
Oh, and some paperwork. Make sure that you don't miss that.
No, we don't want to miss paperwork. It's really important.
bad. All right, cool. So you've got more shufflers up here. Now, one thing that you're going to notice is that sticky note count is much, much higher here. And the reason is because those shufflers are actually incredibly dense creatures. They're made of lots and lots and lots of sticky notes. So if you want to take down this sort of number, you're going to need to take out a lot of those guys. Wow, it is chaos here.
It is pure chaos.
But you guys are doing really well.
Yeah.
Lots of good combos. Lots of these sprinklers have been activated. I saw another fire extinguisher pop, cooling these guys down. You got the boombox going. Okay. My faith is building. You guys are gonna make it.
We're doing great. I'm gonna go have a little drink from the what do you call this?
To be clear, there are way better ways to heal than this.
But, I'm on the go.
Sometimes you're just thirsty.
I'm
Okay.
a firebreaker on the go, and
Now
now I'm
you
gonna
guys-
shoot my gnome, the garden gnome, the infamous.
This is a good idea because
he
you
is.
just got a strong enemy who just randomly
So,
spawned into the middle of what
Watch
you're
out,
doing.
team, because the garden gnome does not differentiate friend from foe.
It does not.
It
Like
just,
real gnomes.
it just goes to the closest thing that it can find, and it summons a lightning storm. And we actually had a special enemy who's in the middle of it now, the Alex Cohen, and he's getting destroyed,
Yeah.
but he's still up. So what are these special named enemies?
Yeah, so these named enemies
Get wrecked.
are kind of
Get wrecked.
just harass it with the butt of the rifle there. So these named enemies are actually super powerful hiss. They're randomized sort of super powered hiss that come in at the best possible moments. Or the worst ones. And what they do is they are so strong that the FBC is terrified to let them back into the safe spaces of the oldest house where everyone other than Firebreak is kind of, I just imagine, having margaritas and chilling out. And so they actually close all of the doors. That means there's no evacuating, there's no getting through to the next containment zone until you hunt down that hiss and take them down. All right, cool. And you
Nico,
guys actually are ready for the third
Nico,
zone.
can you wet him? I'm gonna hit him with the electricity.
That was a question in chat as well. What happens when you wet them and shock them at the same time?
Well, first of all, it amplifies the damage. On non-sticky note enemies, it actually also amplifies the stun, kind of keeping them in place for other players to kind of come in with a good grenade or a gunshot. Now, with sticky notes and with enemies, the best thing, though, is that it spreads the electricity. So if you've got any water going on anywhere between, showers, on the floor, on enemies, on yourself, because, of course, as Julius is here wet, you can see on the screen, all of the electricity is going to jump between all of those sources. So very powerful, but you also need to be careful, especially at higher threat levels where the friendly fire becomes more important.
Hello, chair.
Hello, chair.
All right, are we all here? Yeah, we're all in a good spot. Oh! There's a humidifier. Let's get near it.
Yeah, that humidifier is clutch.
It's out of juice.
Well, it was clutch.
Oh no! Here we go.
That's clutch again.
You want another question from chat?
Sure.
You go for it.
Someone asked, my friend is really bad at video games, but I love them so much.
Yeah.
How are you making sure that you're catering to different skill levels?
Yeah, I really love that question because it's been super important to us from the very, very beginning of making this game. So, of course, as I mentioned, you have a lot of levers to pull when you're deciding how to play the game. So you can turn the difficulty down, you can turn the session length down, you can turn the randomization and the modifiers down to accommodate. Now, if you just want to throw your friend in the action, also fair. The fix kit is a great choice for them. Lots of hitting with the wrench. Still really fulfilling. I don't want to undersell it, but it's a little easier to control if you're not quite as well versed in video games. And of course, the other thing is that once we have a chance to explore the perk system a bit more, you'll see that you can actually equip all of your awesome high-level perks and share them to new players, whether they haven't played this game for a long time or they just need the help. You're going to actually be able to support them inside of the experience. And this is how we try to make sure that everyone can stay united and play together and not say, oh, well, I'm like level a gazillion, so don't play with me, man. Wow, and actually, while I was talking, look what's going on here. You guys have found a safe room that is...
vertical.
Maybe sideways.
It's vertical, yeah. So the oldest house is a shifting space, some might say.
Yes.
So this safe room does actually function.
And the toilet is the right way up, which I think is important.
Yeah, so this does function. There's stuff
Some
here
hero
for us
has
to
done
get,
that.
like a grenade over there. Let me grab that. And if we go down, we will actually respawn in this vertical one. But let's move on because we're getting actually to a very fun part of this job. You might have seen him briefly in our trailers. The one, the only, Sticky Ricky. And actually, Sticky Ricky, also known as Adhesive Richard.
Adhesive Richard, yes. Yes.
In one of the localizations,
My
I forget
dad.
which language, the text localizations, we have a bunch of text localizations for the game. In one of them, he's called Ivo Adesivo, I think.
Yeah, that's way better.
So we have some friends behind us. Watch out, team.
All right.
Let's get rid of these. There we go. Oof. Wow, where did you come from?
I mean, they're literally replicating.
All right, well, he's going there, so let's follow him to meet Sticky Ricky.
Oh, we see he's here. Threshold
There he is.
Entity 14N, as he's actually formerly known.
Yeah, so what are we doing here?
Yeah, so you can see that sticky note count has gone way, way up. Mr. Sticky Ricky is angry. Now, Firebreak, of course, returns to these crises over and over again. There's no really getting rid of them forever, and so Firebreak has set up these traps to kind of help whenever they have to send crews out to deal with it. So one trap is going to actually set up a bunch of showers to soak this guy, and the other trap is going to hit with a huge electrical force. I can see that your crew is right now busy fixing all of the components which have broken inside of this kind of
Henrietta is going to do the water now, so...
All right, great. Once you guys have that water
There,
going,
Ricky
hit him,
is wet,
hit him.
and now we'll hit him with the electricity.
Ooh,
and
all
now
right.
he's vulnerable to damage.
all right, take him down.
Oh no, he's gonna get me.
Now, one of the fun things about Sticky Ricky, or not so fun, is that later, once you get to start playing with threat level and corruption more, his behaviors will actually change. And so there's a few different things that this guy does that you're not even going to see here today.
So okay, now he's not vulnerable anymore, so now we need to redo that.
You do. Now, I do want to mention, though, that Sticky Ricky is actually systemic like the rest of the game. Now, I don't recommend this, but you could just kind of get him soaked and then hit him with electricity by conventional means to do some damage. Now,
Okay.
that would take a very long time.
Luckily,
Are you fixed? Oh, yeah, you are. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Get him.
This is a good space. Oh, watch out for that blast coming.
yeah, I can make it.
All right. I think you guys...
Aw. One
Get
more.
him.
Oh, no, is he?
No,
oh,
what?
no. Miko, can you get some water on Sticky Ricky? Thanks.
So close and yet so far.
There. All right.
All right.
I am very much covered. But luckily, there is a humidifier here
You've
which
taken
will
home
clean me.
a parting gift. Yeah.
Okay, we need to get out of here because there's going to be a lot
you
of
guys
this.
are- yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. All right, well done.
Some water on me. Get some ammo. Okay, we need to run because they're coming. They're here, as Hank said.
I'm happy to reveal that Julius is actually the voice
Yeah,
actor.
no, it's
If
me,
you- If
totally.
you couldn't tell.
Yeah, totally. That's me. I'm Hank. No,
Oh, boy.
obviously not me. It's a
Oh,
professional
geez.
voice actor, not me. Professional goof. But yeah, we're now in the evacuation sequence for clearance level 3.
Yeah, and you guys are backtracking right now quite a bit, which is great because I can see that Julius, you are outrunning the hordes, which is wonderful for now. They might catch up with you here soon.
Let's set up some stuff in case they do catch
Not
us
a
up.
bad idea.
So that's gonna.
And don't forget to call the elevator.
Yeah, we need to do
much
that.
much like actual elevators. Takes
It's
longer than
coming
you
down.
want.
Yeah, there's a little
There it
timer
is.
there.
All right.
Ooh, look at that go.
Okay.
You know what?
See, I got a swivel cannon there. Oh,
Gnome
yeah,
time.
Maybe time for another gnome.
There he is.
All right.
Our friend.
Oh, I see him back there. Oh, and
Ooh, and the. Oh no, he's here! How did he get here? No. No. Okay, we're good. He didn't come to us. Yeah. So once again, the garden gnome does not distinguish between a friend or foe, so he will just go to whoever's closest and will damage all of us.
all right. Looking good. Now I see someone's filled the humidifier actually with the super hot tea,
Yep.
which actually kind of creates a volcano. Not so great for healing anymore, but it is
Oh,
nice
we
on
got
a choke point.
We got an invisible enemy.
Okay, well. You
Okay, let's go, let's go,
All right,
let's
get
go,
out of
let's
there.
Uh oh, I might have closed the door early. Nope,
Yeah,
we're good.
Nope. Okay, you're not allowed to bring friends home.
No worries.
Okay, that's okay.
No worries, Miko. We got you.
And there's literally still another
Oh,
person
I'm
there. Okay. You guys
Not
have
like
it distorted
this.
in the elevator with you.
Not like this.
Fun fact, the distorted is actually wearing high heels,
Oh,
slaying and slaying. It's
Okay, I'm gonna redeploy so we can get back there.
Can you?
Yeah, probably. Oh, look at that T pose. Amazing. Okay,
Oh no. Okay.
we're in. Where are we now? Zone 2? Yeah, we're in Zone 2. We can get back there.
All right.
I just need to.
Well, the good news for you is that all of them seem to be collected at the elevator right now.
Yeah, so we'll get there. Let's wash those off.
If they don't leave without you.
No, they wouldn't do that. That would be.
They wouldn't leave. You've got way too many precious resources. Oh wait, you don't have any precious resources.
I'll get them back. They're in the elevator.
Okay.
Why you gotta be mean, little? There we go.
All right. Nice.
Oh snap.
Oh, see, this is what happens when you save your friends.
Yeah. So actually, we could we could have left.
Pro tip: let them die.
Who's behind me?
I'm just kidding. Don't play video games with me.
Oh no! I got
jeez.
got.
Oh my gosh, this is how it starts. So if you couldn't tell, this game has a large aspect of risk versus reward.
I'm redeploying.
The riskier that you get, the more rewards that you have going and saving friends who are carrying a lot of currency or trying to get some just kind of additional XP multipliers at the end for having more survivors. Now, the good news for these guys is, now that they have 0 lives left, is that even if they all die at this point, the bureaucracy of the FBC says, hey, you know what though? Sticky Ricky went down.
Close enough.
The job is actually still a victory. Victory is assured at this point. The big question here is, are they going to leave with the currency that they collected during the job?
There.
And with 0 lives, it's gotten a bit exciting.
Let me put this on to distract them.
Oh my gosh.
There.
Oh. Now actually that distorted is actually on fire. which is nice because you can actually see them when they're invisible. You just it's on flame. Oh, it's broken. No, it fixed. Okay.
No, we fixed it.
Yeah, sometimes the elevator breaks.
We made it.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna catch my breath. Okay.
We did it.
Hey.
GG's.
Oh my gosh. Good job.
Post one in chat for GG's.
Well done.
Divas extracted.
Divas extracted. Yes. Yes. So that was clearance level 3 of Paperchase. That's right. We have the result screen here. Once again.
Yes.
So we did all right. We did all right. And an important thing about this result screen is that this is also very much work in progress. We are currently improving this based off feedback from internal tests and some user research tests that we've been doing recently. So this is also very much a work in progress.
So improving it by putting the actual data in there. Yeah. Just in case somebody saw and was like, wait, I didn't remember those revives.
No, these are real numbers. They're real numbers. All right. So that was a Paperchase. We hope you enjoyed that. We're going to take a about 10-minute break right now, during which we'll be playing our community first look videos for you. And also on Twitch, we're going to run a 3-minute ad break so that we can get rid of those pre-roll ads because they're not a great experience for new viewers. And after the break, we are going to give you a sneak peek at Hotfix, another job in FBC Firebreak. And then after that, we will be revealing the release date and the deluxe edition content of FBC Firebreak. So please stick around. We will be back in a jiffy.
See you soon.
Hi, what you're seeing behind me is FBC Firebreak, our new cooperative 3-player first-person shooter in action. I'm Mike Kayada, I'm the game director on this project here at Remedy. Behind me, you see a few members of our small development team here at our headquarters in Finland, and we're really excited just to show you a small glimpse of what you can expect from Remedy's next game coming 2025. For a long time, we've been looking for a way to take our strength at building these fascinating worlds and taking our really action-focused sort of combat gameplay and combine them into a multiplayer game. And not just multiplayer game, but something cooperative. Basically, we want to provide you and your friends the chance to step into one of Remedy's worlds together for a shared experience for the first time. To many of you, the setting of Firebreak might look familiar. It's set in the exact same location as Control, the oldest house.
Each location has been completely reimagined from the ground up, shifted into something that works well for our chaotic 3-player gameplay. We knew from the very beginning that we wanted to make Firebreak a first-person experience. It just felt so unique and original to run around the oldest house in first-person view.
Firebreak takes place some years after the events of that game, but was designed as an entirely standalone experience. So even if you haven't played Control, if you like cooperative shooters, you're going to love this game. So in this game, you play as a volunteer member of a new unit called Firebreak, and that name, Firebreak, actually comes from real-life firebreaks. It's a physical idea of something that stands between the danger and the thing that needs protecting. And the reason why you're called Firebreak is because that's your job, to stand between the crisis and the thing that needs protecting, which in this case is the Bureau itself. So before you and your friends drop into a mission, it's important to pick the right gear. And you do that through loadouts that we call crisis kits. But of course, your choices and your friends' choices need to make sense together. Or not. It's up to you.
So obviously when we're making a co-op multiplayer experience, it's very important to think about the second-to-second gameplay. And once you really embrace that way of working, you start seeing a lot of genuine feelings kind of arise. And you find yourself thinking, how excited am I playing this? Am I having fun?
What we're really excited about is something that we call paranatural augments. What these are is like a special kind of attachment for your tools. They sort of look like mundane items, and this is like an experimental program from the FBC. So when you fire them out, the unexpected happens.
And what I like to do personally is use laughter as a metric. So sometimes in the team, someone proposes an idea that is so outrageous that you can't help but laugh. And usually the next step is, let's try that in the game and see if that works. From there on, it's really easy to take what we have and iterate it further and make it more fun.
We've only scratched the surface when it comes to FBC Firebreak, and we look forward to showing you a lot more in 2025. Hey, we're here at our studio in Finland testing Paperchase, just one of the jobs that you'll be able to play in our upcoming 3-player cooperative first-person shooter, FBC Firebreak. In Firebreak, you and your friends will play as a team of volunteer first responders, and each job is basically a wrapper for a unique crisis that you'll be assigned to put down. And just like real-world crises, like fires and floods, these things have a way of coming back. So the work is important, but never ends. The FBC has been locked down for years at this point, and everything you could imagine going wrong in a place like the oldest house has now gone wrong, and those things have turned into jobs for Firebreak. Each job is set in a different location within the oldest house and features unique objectives and mechanics. Paperchase is set in the executive sector, and there's only one objective: destroy sticky notes. You'll get to pick from 3 saved loadouts called crisis kits, each one centered around a unique tool and a general playstyle. Once you know what type of job you want to take on, you'll choose the threat level and the clearance level. Threat level deals with the combat intensity. Clearance level is all about the complexity and the length of the crisis that you're going down to face. Now, both of these levels deal with a few other cool things, but we'll talk more about those in the future.
Coming from Control to FBC Firebreak, there are some key aspects of the franchise that we really want to keep holding on to. We want to keep the game as weird as possible. And even though the team at Firebreak is a bit smaller, I think we've been able to pull the weirdness aspect really well. We have these 2 questions that we usually ask ourselves. Is the idea something that could only happen in the oldest house and that only Remedy as a developer would do? If the answer is yes to both of those questions, then it usually means we are on the right track. As a result of that creative process, we end up having quite a lot of wacky stuff in the game. This job where you need to find these mannequin ski instructors and load them on to a paranatural ski lift to appease it.
I've been a designer of sort at Remedy for a quarter of a century now, and I personally play multiplayer games much more myself, so it's really nice to finally be actually designing a multiplayer game. It's not the kind of carefully curated single-player experience that Remedy is usually known for. It's more of a systemic game where you and your friends discover how everything works.
My absolute favorite example, we have the showers. And these are actually our main mechanic of healing in the game. But if you're just going in there, the water is going to be cold, and the cold water is going to slow you down for a bit. But what you can do is that you can fix the heaters attached to the showers, and then that whole thing is going to make the whole shower experience more pleasant. Okay.
When we talk about being different, we applied that same thinking to our crisis kits. So first we've got the crank-operated fluidic ejector, which is used to extinguish fires, slow down enemies, or even clean the harmful conditions off of your crewmates. Then there's the electrokinetic charge impactor, which is sort of like a defibrillator had a baby with a pogo stick. And the big wrench,
which is, you know, a big wrench.
So yeah, it's a spin-off of Control, but you're not really a levitating superhuman like Jesse. You get your power more from gadgets and using supernatural objects, and then of course you get power from the fact that there's 3 of you. Well, actually, still only 1 of you, but you have 2 friends. Or I hope you have 2 friends, or get 2 friends at least. The combat is not just about the gun, the tools also really matter. So for example, your friend can be using a water cannon to cool off the hot heads of the hiss, and then you can be just finalizing the deal.
We want you to play this game as easily as possible with your friends, so we're making sure that all content is available to all players. With that in mind, we're not ready to talk about the specifics yet, but what I can confirm today is that all playable post-launch content is available for free for all players. Once the game is in your hands, we want to hear from you, the community, on what you think about this game, what you really like about the game, and the things that you might not like so much, because all of those things together will help shape the game in the future. And if you'd like to do that, please go to our Discord server, which is discord.gg/control. Link to that is in the description below.
We are far along in development, but there are plenty of things we haven't talked to you about, from corrupted items to player progression to resonance. But hey, that's for another time.
Only Remedy. Remedy.
We'll play as a team of volunteer first responders. Sorry, I lost that.
It's not just about you having showers though. It's also about your friends having showers. But let's not talk about showers anymore.
Welcome back, everyone! Welcome back. I hope you had a nice little break. We certainly did. And if you joined us during the break, welcome to our very first FBC Firebreak Developer Update live stream, where we give you updates and news about FBC Firebreak. So, without further ado, let's get to the second half of our stream. Just to give you a reminder of what's coming up, we'll be giving you a sneak peek at another job called Hotfix, after which we will reveal the release date and deluxe edition content of FBC Firebreak. So, let's get on in to the game. Let me set things up here so that we're ready to go. All right. There. So we've selected Hotfix now. Mike, can you give us a brief rundown of what are we doing in Hotfix?
Yeah, absolutely. So Hotfix is another one of the jobs which centers around a crisis. This time the crisis is actually the furnace. If you didn't play Control, the furnace is basically just a gigantic furnace that appeared one day. Nobody really knows how it got there, only that it needs a lot of tender love and care. Otherwise, something happens. And inside of Firebreak, we're here to make sure that something does not happen. So practically speaking, it's making the oldest house hot, and like really hot, like you step too close and you start lighting on fire kind of hot. And your job, ultimately, once you get into clearance level 3, is to try to reseal this furnace. Now, here we're going to be playing clearance level 2, since we're just trying to give you a bit of a sneak peek. And so in these zones that Julius and crew will be playing, we are going to be working on repairing transfer fans that kind of move the heat of the furnace around the maintenance sector into safer, cooler places.
Yeah. All right. So let's get in there, and we're joined by Senior Communications Manager Mika Huttunen and Junior User Researcher Henrietta Satamo. Let me change the loadout a little bit. So we were using the jump kit earlier. Let me take the splash kit, because the coffee crank-operated fluidic ejector is actually quite good for taking care of hot situations.
Yeah, exactly. And even though you're not changing your grenade or your gun right now, or your perk setup, you actually could do that.
I could. You could. Mika, can you change over to the jump kit? Let me see if Mika's going to change. Mika? Well, we can jump in.
Sometimes your friends just don't want to change, and that's okay.
That's okay. It's valid. But yeah, Mika can also change once we are in the job as well, which is okay. So we can go with 2 splash kits. That's also fine.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no restrictions on duplicating kits in the game. And as I said, you can start that way and then find out that it doesn't work quite as well and switch out later.
Yeah. Ah, okay. So that was apparently a bug because he had the jump kit, but it showed that he had the splash kit. So
live builds are so fun.
But it is also fun that we can show the game live like this and bump into these little bugs.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's really
final
good,
stretches of game development. All right, here we are in Hotfix.
Cool. Yeah, so Hotfix, you may notice that little icon has already showed up next to your health bar there. Now, that's not a special icon. It's just using the sort of heat system from the rest of the game, except for, as I mentioned before, this place is pretty hot. So if you don't find ways to cool down as you do your work, you are going to eventually immolate.
Yes, so we're fixing these fans over here, so Mika has the right tool for the job. So boom, and now the fans start moving again.
Nice. And once you get these fans moving, that area around the fans is actually going to start cooling down. So if you start running into trouble with heat, you can maybe don't get too close. You'll get kind of chopped up. But if you stay at a safe distance, much like actual transfer fans, you should be okay.
Oh yeah, Handetta needs to go there. And it's actually really hot, so I'm going to cool her down.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So she does not catch fire.
Get out before, yeah, oh, nice. And we just saw her do the rush ability. So actually, once you upgrade your wrench gets a lot lighter. And you can actually do a cool rush in order to get where you're going much faster, slam into the hiss, etc.
Actually, need to go this way, but we
just wanted to keep.
It was fun to zip. It's fun to zip.
It is fun. It is fun.
Whomst of us does not enjoy a good zipping and zooming around? Is Mika here? Mika, come to us. Let me ping this.
It's always like a seance. Mika, are you with us? There he is.
All right, fan fixed.
Cool, and of course, just as a reminder, anybody could have really done that objective, and that's by the way, when you do play this game solo, even though of course having your friends with you is always going to be kind of the prime experience here. When you play the game solo, you are going to go ahead and need to do all these emergencies by yourself, pick the tool that you want, and do the rest by hand. So I hope you're pretty good at that game. All right,
where'd you go?
Oh, as a reminder, I guess we forgot to talk about you cranked this up on the threat level.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I put high.
Oh, this should get interesting.
As the threat level. So what does that mean for us in practice?
Well, it means you need to practice.
Oh boy.
You're going to get some practice. Yeah. And actually, you're still in the first zone, so, things are probably going to be okay.
No, we'll be good.
Oh, yeah. I like that confidence. You know who else had confidence?
Whomst?
Icarus.
He made it to the sun, right?
He famously,
that's the story.
He famously did not make it to the sun.
No. The story says he made it to the sun. He became a son of the sun, and that's what the lesson is. Found family.
What is going on with the Finnish education system? Anyway, okay. So where are you guys? You've got 3 transferred fans left. And again, a lot of this game is about efficiency. So you guys could absolutely sit around and take your time not repairing these fans, but if you do it, these waves are going to come faster and faster, harder and harder, and really start risking your ability to succeed at this job.
All right, that fan has been fixed. We have 2 more.
You're doing a great job cooling down the team also. That is actually really, really important.
So here's an interesting thing. We actually fixed this already, but because there was so much damage happening, these broke. So we have to fix these again.
Yeah, the hiss can also come and mess these up. You can also mess these up, but don't do that.
Oh, boy.
Okay, well... Oh, look at that. Now you're kind of doing a big charge shot, right? Now, when you do that charge shot, you are going to apply wet, but you're also going to stagger those guys, which is really fantastic for placing a grenade, getting a combo with another team member, and you can, of course, get that crank going and kind of do more of like a Gatling gun situation. Yeah, there you go.
Ow!
And that's going to rapid fire tiny globules.
Globules, yeah.
Globules.
That's a great word.
It's a great word until you have to say it.
No, it's
funny.
It's like itinerary.
All right, so you guys are good to go?
Yeah, we just need to take care of this guy.
He's fine. Cool, so actually he's taunted by that boombox, which is fantastic.
Okay, we got him.
Yep, all right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Zone 2, let's head in there. So things are going to heat up in the second zone, right?
Yes, they absolutely are. And of course, you cool down this zone with the transfer fans. So this zone should be nice. Oh yeah, actually there is this. Well, I guess there is this that happens. So when we talk about what the furnace does,
I'm going to use my teapot. So I'm shooting hot water now instead of regular water. So it is quite powerful. And there's also the gnome in there, wreaking havoc. So we just decimated this group of enemies.
Perfect. Now, what we saw also just a glimpse of, and I'm sure we'll see again, is actually some of the furnace flaring up is actually coming through these transfer fans, because as you get deeper into the crisis, you progress into new zones, things become more dangerous. You saw this in Paperchase when all of a sudden in the second zone you started getting shufflers, and although fortunately it didn't happen to the team, they could actually become shufflers themselves if they got hit with that. So here, these fans are also producing so much heat that it's turning purple. Fortunately not.
Is that like the levels of heat is orange, blue, purple,
and then plaid, I think.
Plaid. Ooh. Isn't that was the highest speed in Spaceballs?
I think it was.
Yeah. Shout out Spaceballs.
Another cool thing you can see also here is like, although we are working on these elements, so they are going to change. We're going to have the same functionality. You can actually see up there your resonance shield, which is about, I don't know, what is that, like 60% full. And there's a little widget right above that shows a number. Now that number is going to quickly show you how many members of the crew are near to you. And that means, obviously, if it's 2, that's great. Everyone's shield is working at full effect. And if you have perks that can share with other people, you're sharing 2. And you can see those little dingles. I never know what to call
there
them.
it is.
Oh, yep. Watch out for that. Not healthy.
Come down here, Mika. We're down
That's
here.
actually showing you, generally speaking, from a compass perspective, where the team is. So if you ever get lost, you don't have to just spam the ping saying, here, here, here. People can just see really quickly where other people are. It's super, super important to have that in this game. Nice job. Ooh, look at you. I saw you get shot. Hazard of the job.
More. I'll get it.
Yeah, now what you're seeing here a little bit, if you see some stuttering, is we've got some heat particles coming out of that fan that sometimes are a little bit intense. So that's one of the things that we're fixing right now, just in case you're wondering what you're seeing. All right, nice.
So the water actually also makes them weaker, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, at least it cools them down. So it's not really a debuff. It's more of like a removal of a buff. I don't know. I guess I'm splitting hairs here, but really it's important when they are already hot.
There we go.
To kind of bring them back down to regular, healthy hiss temperatures.
Evening the playing field.
Yeah, exactly. And in a place like Hotfix, it's super important because even, as you are getting closer to lighting on fire yourself, the hiss are actually constantly getting buffed when they come at you. So this is actually a pretty dangerous place.
Let's go this way, peeps. Follow me. Here we go.
You can also use your voice wheel if you want, just to kind of say group up. Yep, up top. Boop. Boop. There you go.
Look at that.
Yeah. Don't breathe that.
Or be in it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
All right.
Let's fix it.
Yep.
That's for Henrietta, no? Henrietta, that's you.
Yeah, and you can see a nice contextual ping there too. So like if you ping something like that uses a specific tool, even though anybody can do it, it's gonna automatically pick any player that has the tool that's best at that and deliver that ping straight to them so that they know that they've been requested to kind of come and do some maintenance.
So I'm actually getting hot now. You can see on the left the counter is going up, or not counter, but the icon.
Yep.
I can actually cool myself off by shooting at my own feet. I could,
at least you could if you weren't on a grade.
If I weren't on a grade, but there we go. So now I'm a little bit wet and it got rid of the hotness.
One of the fun things we're working on right now as well is to be able to shoot the ceiling and have it kind of like, rain down on you as well.
Really?
Yeah, well, we'll see if it gets in. As you said, we throw everything into the end, make a mess for ourselves, but we're doing our best to get everything cool into the game that we can. All right, nice job. How many more do you have left? One left.
One more.
Okay.
This way.
I gotta say, you guys have gotten away with a pretty easy, hard run here. I'm happy for you.
Let me keep Henrietta cool so she does not overheat. All right, let's get out of here.
Woo! Look at you guys.
Oh, we got
professional.
guns. Just run through. Just run through. Maybe don't. Pop that grenade.
Now, actually, there's quite a bit of like stagger systems in this game. So, you know, everybody has a light melee that's kind of like a bit of an elbow hit.
that.
Yeah, exactly. And you can do that while you're holding anything. Oh, haha, no evacuation for you.
Oh, no.
Josh Sullivan! Anyway, so
Dang it, Sullivan.
you can kind of knock these guys off balance, stagger them, and actually, you know, a lot of the time your tools are really good for this kind of utility. If you get swamped, now you're just having fun. No having fun in the video game. So what you can do is even if you're out of ammo, now fortunately you guys haven't run into this problem, but it definitely happens. Trust me.
Check this.
Oh boy, here we go.
So the humidifier is now filled with hot water.
Yeah.
We're gonna give them the time of their lives. I need a shower.
Nice.
Oh, they're down.
Oh boy. Oh, see, this is what I was talking about with Icarus, too close to the sun there. Forgot your team on a power trip, and now look what's happened. Now look how fast they're going.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
Oh my gosh.
We're doing great.
Have you even called the elevator? No, you haven't. Call the elevator. What are you doing?
It's coming.
No, it's not.
But I can't press it. Oh, because Josh is here.
You need to
We need to get rid of Josh. We can't call down the elevator.
Gosh, yeah,
it's
Josh. You're in a lockdown right now. This is as locked down as you can get.
Very meta. Okay, let's redeploy.
Oh my gosh, this is rough. Oh, that Josh Sullivan.
I'm redeploying.
My rival.
You're right.
Down.
Diva Dirt. Where am I?
Oof.
All right, we're getting back. Okay, here we go. Diva down.
I smell a new Steam handle for you, Julius.
Doesn't make it happen.
All right, you gotta get Josh.
Yeah, we're
tired of this guy.
We're gonna get him. Oh well. I'm gonna.
Remember what I was saying? You guys got off kind of easy before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have cursed you. I'm so sorry.
Jinxed us, as it were. Jinx Arcane.
Oh my gosh.
Josh is over there.
Where is he?
There.
Oh, he's there.
Right there.
Yeah. All right. Well, he's there for now. Oh, he's just a puny guard. I can't believe you had so much trouble.
Well, he's down now, so let's run to the elevator,
All right,
folks.
good idea.
Elevator time. Let's run.
Yep.
Awesome, everyone's
You guys
going.
need to go. All right, now you can finally press the button. The lockdown has lifted.
Yes, they have miniguns. There's hits with miniguns. You saw it right. Let's do that.
Someone asked about other weapons. Well, our bestie, the Relaxing End. Shout out to the Relaxing End.
Shout out, Relaxing End.
Asked about different gun varieties.
Yeah.
You've got a shotgun.
I've got a shotgun, yeah. Henrietta has a revolver, and Mika has a submachine gun.
Yeah, so we don't really think about this as kind of like what I might call like a gun collection game, because we're really all about like devices and tools and utility. But guns are obviously super important in a shooter. We typically think about our guns as three archetypes. We have kind of what we sometimes call a blast archetype, which is shotgun based, a precision archetype, which is, you know, like the revolver, for example. And then we have kind of a spray archetype. And we actually think that these synergize a little bit with the kits as well, and what they're good at. So you'll be able to play with a good variety. And the guns that we do have also can be upgraded a few times just to get some extra power out.
We're getting out of here.
Okay. All right. Actually. Well done, and lots of jumping and celebration.
Huzzah!
Okay.
Claps and
Huzzah.
chat. GG's. Well done.
Okay, and that was clearance 2. So you guys got to evacuate before facing down the furnace itself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a legitimate way to play.
Yeah, the furnace is really cool, but we're saving that for later. Little tease for you there. So yeah, that was Hotfix. Thank you very much to Mika and Henrietta for playing with us. We really appreciate that for being here. But now then, let us switch gears a little bit as we go into the news segment of the show, and our communications director, Thomas Puha, joins us. Thomas, would you like to join us? He's been here the whole time, right there, off camera. Oh, there he is. Let me just make it so that people can see your lovely name.
Oh, there's so little air in this room. We're gonna start giggling like a maniac very soon.
Loopy.
You guys did great.
Thanks.
Shout out to Henrietta, Mika as well. I've been sweating like all damn week. Like, why are we playing like a live build? Whose stupid idea was that?
It was your idea. It was, in fact, your idea. But otherwise, how are you doing? How's it going? Welcome to the
A lot
show.
better now.
Yeah, shout out to the build as well.
Oh,
Shout out
God, yes.
to the
game is
FBC
not done yet.
Firebreak team for delivering a solid build for us.
You guys have
Thank
no
you
idea
so
how much work they put in to try to make this happen tonight. So yeah,
It's
absolutely.
been a stressful couple of months. It continues to be. Yeah, shout out to the team and everybody involved.
Yes, but you have something for us today.
Yes, bad jokes and such, but seriously, great job playing. The game has just gotten so much better in the last couple of months. Like, it's just a lot of fun to play. But yes, there are some things that remain to be revealed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start then. I really hope I'm not going to bring this show down.
No, I mean, we're announcing cool stuff.
So amazing. Okay. So first up, very happy to reveal that there is a deluxe edition of FBC Firebreak. You can see it there on the screen.
That's right.
Now, this thing contains quite a few nice things. So we have the Firestarter armor set, the Apex Revision armor set, I should say, the Scorch Remnant double barrel shotgun skin, the Golden Firebreak spray, and then the Firestarter voice pack and the Pencil Pusher voice pack. Now, all of these items are cosmetic only, so they don't have any impact on gameplay. And as you can see on the top right, there's something called a classified requisition. We'll get to that in a bit. I want to talk a bit about the voice packs, because I think this is kind of a very Remedy spin on these things. So the standard edition, or the game itself, contains multiple different voices that you can, male and female, that you can choose. There's some customization that you can do. But the voice packs are all new dialogue and different actors, so it's not just different actors doing the exact same dialogue and the barks, dev term there, that the game has, but this is some new content. And I think there's a very fun Remedy spin on those.
Yeah, and we put a lot of time in doing kind of full custom scripts. There's actually a surprising amount of of dialogue and
You've done a great job writing this game, Mike, I gotta say.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay, so then next up, let's tell you how much this costs. So we have, of course, the standard edition and the deluxe edition. So the standard edition costs $39.99 and euros, and then £32.99 pounds. Is that British sterling or is it pounds?
I think both are correct.
It's great British pounds.
Exactly. And the deluxe edition is $49.99 in euros, and then $39.99 pounds. Now, of course, there's going to be deluxe upgrade available. So if you go for the standard edition, you can, of course, later down the line, if you want to get these cosmetics, you can just upgrade by getting that deluxe upgrade. And you can wishlist the standard edition right now. Please do so. We need the algorithm magic.
We'll post the links in the chat
to help us out. The deluxe edition will be available on launch day, so you're not going to be able to see it in stores right now. Okay, so I mentioned the requisitions, but before we get into that, when you buy the game, as we've said already previously, all of the post-launch content we're going to be releasing is the playable post-launch content we're going to be releasing is free. So what I can tell you today is that in 2025, we're going to be releasing 2 new jobs alongside other content that you're going to get. And of course, there's more playable content coming next year, and we have some pretty good ideas on what that is. But we do also want to hear from the community kind of once the game is live, see what the reactions are, and then kind of shape our roadmap based on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what a lot of this live stream is about. We talked about just being really direct and transparent with people. We hope you see, like, we legitimately want to hear and kind of bring you into the process as we keep going after launch.
Exactly. Okay, so the requisitions that I mentioned, let's talk a bit about those. So requisitions are a set of unlockable equipment and cosmetic items in FBC Firebreak.
You can see it on the screen right now, the menu.
which is again one of those menus that actually is like heavily changed. It's going to be better. It looks lovely here, but it's just like laying out the information takes quite a while to get that right. Okay, so there's two types of requisitions. There's operational requisition, which is always in the game. That's what you can see here. It's part of the game. It's got weapons, gear, and cosmetics for you to unlock at your own pace. So by completing jobs, you get the lost assets, or you can find them from safe rooms. And then you can use this currency to unlock the items from the operational requisition. Now, the other requisition is classified requisitions, such as the Firestarter one that's contained in the deluxe editions. Now, this is the paid one, but it only contains cosmetic items such as armor sets and sprays. So when we will drop, a major content update, a free job for everyone to play, we will also then drop a classified requisition, of course, completely optional, cosmetics only. And the really important thing here, of course, is that, we don't want any of that FOMO, none of that sort of time gate stuff. So the requisitions are going to be always available.
Yeah, it's really important that it's at your own pace, like you've talked about a lot, Mike.
Yeah, we're really not interested in giving anybody another job, and so you can even take the requisitions at your own pace. They use the same in-game currency, the premium and the non-premium ones, so you can kind of choose where to put things and how to handle things. And also, once we give you a deeper look at these later, you'll see that you can actually even prioritize what you want to unlock and win as well. So we're really trying to make sure that we put this in your hands.
Yeah, the unlocking isn't entirely linear at all. And you can read more about both the deluxe edition as well as requisitions on our Steam page. So I recommend after the stream is over, you can go there where it's explained a lot better, written by Mika. So very, very clear and informative.
So
right. So do we still have something?
The big ticket item. When is FBC Firebreak coming out, Thomas?
Are you ready, Mike? Okay, so FBC Firebreak, the next Remedy Entertainment game, our first self-published game, and also our first multiplayer game. There's a lot of firsts. There's a lot of stress, let me tell you, but it's also exciting and fun. So, very happy to reveal that FBC Firebreak is being released on June 17th this year.
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Yeah.
wait, this year? I thought we agreed. Next year.
What platforms, though?
Okay, so June 17th, the game's going to be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, Epic Store, and of course on Steam as well. And let me really get this next bit right. So it's going to be available day one on PC Game Pass Ultimate, PC Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate and PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. Man, that was a mouthful. Hopefully First Party is not going to be killing me for messing that one up. So basically very easy access to this game. I would say great value for money, and especially when we're going to put out more content post-launch. It's going to be great. However, you don't just have to take our word for it. It's the next couple of weeks are very exciting. There's a lot of content creators and press coming down to Remedy, as well as playing remotely a huge chunk of the game, so you can actually hear from some of your favorite creators and outlets instead of us. We might be just slightly biased, maybe a little bit. So there's a lot of content coming, whether it's written or video or podcast, so you can then kind of make your own decisions on the game. But we're actually building like an event space as I speak downstairs, so it's all popping off. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
All right. That's it for the news section. Thank you, Thomas, very much for this exciting news. And now, dear chatters and viewers, we have time for some questions, some Q&A for another 15 minutes or so. So there's been some questions coming up during the stream, which Vida off camera, that's her hand, has been writing down for us. So we'll start with those, but definitely do keep posting your questions in chat and we will pick out questions to answer. We won't be able to do every single question, unfortunately, due to the limited time, but we'll try to do as many as we can. So Vida, hit us with it.
Okay, so we have a bunch of questions. I'm going to hit you with a quick lightning round first.
Okay.
Old Gods of Asgard?
Old Gods of Asgard?
No Gods of Asgard. Sorry.
Okay. How painful will it be for a single player going through these jobs, no matter the clearance or the threat level?
Yeah, that's a great question. So again, like as a 3-player co-op game, we would not be doing a service to the experience if it wasn't probably optimized and best to play with 3 players. And we do have quick play, so if you don't have people to play with, you can obviously match with people online. And we've tried to make that as easy as possible. Now, if you do just want to play by yourself, which I totally get, or if you want to play with 2 people, that is possible. We are doing our best to actually balance the game for that. So, for example, I mentioned, if you don't have the right tool, you got to do something manually. We'll make that a little easier on you, etc. We're going to try to get that balance as best as we can. But like I said, most of the game has actually been designed to think about teamwork. And so that's where we will put most of our effort, although definitely playable.
Okay. Let's see. What are ways to help the missions not feel repetitive?
Yeah, this has been on our minds since day one. We have a lot of different tools. One of the things that we do quite a bit that we didn't get to show off today is something called corruption, which actually makes things very strange. I know Ulysses is laughing. I can't wait to talk about this a little bit more soon in some very interesting ways. There's a lot of randomization that even if it seems light at first, like, hey, where's the shower, actually fundamentally changes this game. I think actually even earlier we were playing and somebody was like, wait, where did it go? So there's lots and lots of little things that change behaviors of enemies, of Sticky Ricky, all of these things that kind of come in. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, we want these jobs to feel kind of like game modes. And that's why we wanted to give you all of these customization options to be able to find that replayability for yourself. And some people actually just love finding one thing that they do and keep going at it. And for people who are just endlessly looking for that absolutely new, fresh variety, that's why we want to update this game quite a bit. That's why we're committing already to 2 jobs this year on top of the launch, and then we're going to be continuing on with that content in 26 as well.
By the way, someone in chat just realized that your shirt is the 3 alternatives.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, they are the 3.
That's very good.
These are actually
good eye
sprays in the game, so you can tag stuff in the environment, and these are sprays in the game.
And free sprays, just to be clear.
Yeah, they're part of the requisition that comes with the game.
Yeah, and actually, just quick note: these sprays are actually done by a fantastic artist at Remedy, who actually, if you remember in Control, they had all these great posters like is that a stapler or an altered item? And do as your it's actually the same artist. She's fantastic, and she did a lot of these for us that we could give to you, and you spray them right up on the wall while you're playing in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another lightning round.
All right.
Physical copy?
There's not going to be a physical copy. I mean, it's an online game and really makes no financial sense. I know people don't like to hear that. Of course, if the game is insanely successful, then obviously that changes everything.
Next one, crossplay.
Yep. We have crossplay from day one for all platforms. So whether you're on PC, PS5, Xbox, you can play together with your friends.
And then PC specs, are we talking about them right now?
Not just yet. I'm hoping we're gonna do that somewhere mid-May. There's just like a lot of things we gotta get through first. I did notice there was a question there or mention that we've said that definitely lower requirements than Alan Wake 2, and I think if people now looked at this game being played live and it's not even fully optimized, I think it looks absolutely incredible. Yeah, we're definitely, well, at this point, it's not like we're aiming. The game will run and does run on lower spec PCs, but let us try to get you that information out in mid to end May, something like that.
And Steam Deck as well, right?
Steam Deck,
so,
yes, correct.
We're aiming for Steam Deck verified, so that was very important for us. Someone asked a follow-up question to the crossplay, that is it between Steam and Xbox Game Pass? Yes.
Cross progression?
No cross progression. That is very difficult for us to pull off. And as Thomas was mentioning earlier, when we talk about things like, local co-op, physical copies, we are ultimately like a small team. We've got limited resources, and we've made a lot of conscious decisions to dump as many of those resources as possible just into the game and the game systems, and just to deliver the best possible game that we can. A lot of these things, as much as it sucks to say, sometimes are nice to haves for us, behind giving you the best experience that we can. And that's the honest truth.
Okay. Someone asked if progression is tied to the difficulty, or can you clear the whole thing up on easy?
You can clear the entire thing on easy. It will take you much, much longer. We talked about the lost assets, and there's another currency also that you can get once you get corruption on, and collecting those things and extracting with them in order to kind of buy things out of the requisition that you have. You will have more and more and more opportunities to find those the higher difficulty that you play. So you can take the game at your own pace, but you will definitely proceed faster if you are taking on the greater challenges.
Okay. Someone else asked, how do the levels work? Is some of it procedurally generated, or how does it work? How much can you talk about that?
So levels and procedural generation.
Yeah, absolutely. So procedural generation is like a big and thorny topic. There's a lot of fantastic games that rely on that. Most of those games are stylized. I mean, you look at things like Deep Rock Galactic, which is just an incredible game. Obviously, we love it quite a bit here and have played it a lot. For us, this was just something that we experimented with that was just so difficult to get right. It was difficult to get right for our graphics, for our VFX, for our performance, where this is the first game that we're actually running multiplayer inside of Northlight, which is the engine that we develop on. This challenge was very hard for us. Now, that said, the reason why procedural generation is so fantastic in games like this is to add that replayability and that additional, you don't really want to call it randomization, but freshness to things. So we have tried to make up for that with all sorts of other ways of customizing, randomizing, and making these places feel different each time that you play.
All right. Let's see. How much can we talk about support after launch? There was a bunch of different questions, but essentially folks are asking, what are we doing after launch?
What are we doing after a launch? Freaking out and maintaining
vacation.
The game. There's not going to be a vacation.
No, there's definitely not.
And listening to you, the players, obviously, that's a big part. Is like, what are you saying when the game comes out? What things resonate with you, no pun intended, and what things will impact on what we do next, obviously. But we had some other plans, right?
Yeah, but the 2 jobs are coming post-launch this year alongside some other things, but let us get the game out first.
Yeah. And I think it's important to also mention that all of the playable post-launch content will be free for everyone who owns the game. So the only purchasable stuff post-launch is cosmetics.
Yeah.
And I should also mention that when we talk about adding free things to the game, we're permanently adding to the game. So we're not just saying, free, but only if you kind of come in on this weekend or something. You're just going to have access to everything that we release forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. Oh yeah, lore. Lore was a big question.
Mm.
How much lore? Where lore? Connected to other RCU things. Other Remedy games.
Yeah.
How does lore work in FBC?
How does lore work? Okay, so this is an interesting topic. We have 2 groups of people that we had to think about quite a bit when we made this game. One are the Control fans and the RCU fans, and I'll just kind of reduce this conversation to talk about Control fans. So when people kind of came into this world, I think they were promised a big single-player experience of a very specific genre, a specific atmosphere, a chance to explore, observe all sorts of characters and lore and information. And we think it would be very, very unfair to tell those people, well, if you want to continue that journey, you now need to totally change genres, jump into a big multiplayer game, etc. And so we didn't really want to take that story and run with it. Of course, we've already announced we have Control 2 in development, and that is going to kind of pick up those pieces and continue on in the way that it does. Now, that said, we also want to protect the people who didn't play Control or play Control yet and want to kind of come in and have fun because this is their type of game and their genre. And so for them, we didn't want to create a situation where they felt like they're coming in, not understanding the world, not understanding anything that's going on, and feeling like, oh my gosh, to even understand and enjoy this game to the fullest, I have to go and play this entire other game first. And that's not fun either. And so what we have done is we are really, really focusing on the world building. We do have our own kind of like characters and their own stories. This is actually canon inside of the timeline of Control, of the Oldest House, and of the RCU. And so obviously there are organic connections and things that get explored here. I mean, just the fact that the lockdown is still going on 6 years later is already a new piece of the story and some lore. So it's not like we've completely shut it out and tried to create some sort of like weird side story that doesn't matter, but we are being very, very, very cautious about accidentally stepping into something that Control 1 and Control 2 should have narrative ownership of.
Yeah. There was someone asking a little bit more about the Steam Deck verified. Will that be at launch or post-launch? We're aiming at release to have Steam Deck verified. That is the aim currently.
Yep.
Hold on.
Uh-oh, someone's laughing.
I'm laughing at this. Will there be a PC setting for how many sticky notes on screen?
That's what I was laughing at.
That's that's
well,
that's
actually, what you saw in that number on the objective is actually coming from the actual like systemic number of sticky notes. We didn't invent that number, so we'll see if that holds up.
Speaking of number of sticky notes, you mentioned something earlier to me today that. So those of you who've played Control, there's a room that's filled with these replicating sticky notes, which is a big reason or an inspiration for Paperchase. But you mentioned that the people who actually worked on that room in Control, they had to hand place every single sticky note.
Literally every single one.
Yeah, so for this in our game, it's more systemic, you know.
And I have taken them and shown them what you guys just saw on Paperchase and shaken them and said, look what you could have done.
We have the technology.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so they did an amazing job on Control, obviously.
It's so incredible, the artistry that can go into to games. And I say that because I didn't do it, so I'm not talking about myself.
Yeah.
Someone asked something about a reconnect or a backfill system.
Oh, you mean like if someone disconnects?
Yeah, if someone drops out.
So basically, if the host drops, we have very limited options to kind of like continue easily, because we will be running peer-to-peer. But we do have a backfill system. And again, when I talked about scaling for different numbers of players, one of the ways that we do that is we actually assess it at various points during the job, so that if you do go in and you wish that you had a game, but you're missing somebody or somebody drops out inside of one zone, when you're playing on a later clearance level, we'll actually check again and adjust that balancing and those objectives for the number of players as you go on. So we actually have a pretty good, robust backfill system.
Yeah. And so I was asking, can we use in-game currency to get the cosmetics?
Well, to be really clear, you use in-game currency to get all of the free cosmetics, as well as all of the free mechanical upgrades, etc. Now, when you purchase a classified requisition, you will also use in-game currency to make the purchases from that. But to unlock that requisition, you need to purchase it.
Yeah, and those purchasable requisitions with real money purchases, those only have cosmetics, no gameplay affecting things.
Exactly, and we don't have like a in-game premium currency like you know, you buy diamonds and you spend it like a currency in a game shop. It's not like that. You kind of purchase a requisition, you have access to it, and then you use all of the tools that you already have in the world, the same currencies, etc., to access that content as you will.
This is a really good question in chat, because Mikey will resonate with this. Will the game be friendly to the dads in chat who only get an hour or so to game a night?
Well, speaking as a dad in chat, speaking as a dad who only gets an hour to game at night, usually as I'm falling asleep in bed, yes, that was one of the big goals. You know, it was very easy for me to try to tap into this goal, because I was literally like, what would I be able to play with my friends right now? You know, the fact is, whether it's because you're a dad and you have kids, whether it's because you just have a busy life, or maybe it's just because your backlog is 20,000 games, which mine is as well, by the way. Yeah, we just wanted to make something that could kind of meet you with your schedule. And that's one of the reasons why we have the clearance level in the way that it is. Hey, you've got 10 minutes to play. Actually, that's fine. We think about the person who literally has 1 hour, and we tried to think about session length based on that. And we were like, oh yeah, but what if they have 10 minutes left? That really sucks for them. Oh, let them squeeze something else out. Let's make a really short session. And so we really put a lot of thought into trying to make sure that you get the game that you want with the time that you have and the friends that you have available.
Now I feel bad that we have to keep you here and us so late on most nights to either do interviews or anything, so I'm even eating into your gaming time.
It's okay. I fortunately am a very wonderful partner.
I think we can do like 1 or 2 more questions.
Can we, this has come up a lot, can we say at all how many jobs will there be on launch?
No, not yet. I mean, basically we're going to try to ship quality over quantity, so still working out what that final number will be.
Yeah. And quickly, just because I saw it in the chat, we were talking about it earlier, I saw a lot of people had questions about the music. And a lot of people wondering, and name dropping, which I love, Petro Yalanko. And actually, yes, he's doing all of the music for this game. I actually just chatted with him over coffee today, and I was like, I was like, hey man, did you know, like, I always hear nice things about the music they've written. He's like, really? I don't hear any of that. I was like, well, what are you like reading anyone's comments? Like anytime we've shown anything, people always say these nice things. And he was so touched. He's such a genuine, genuine guy. He was like, oh, I'm so glad people are enjoying this music. I was like, yeah, man, it's rocking. It's great. And he was like, I love this game. And I was just sharing it with all of my composer buddies in Prague. And anyway, he's super tickled to be part of it. And we love having him. He's such a good guy. And his work is obviously speaks for itself.
Yeah. Absolutely. Last question.
Last question. Oh, all right. Twitch chat, YouTube chat, give me a question.
1 more. We got 1 more. Because Petri is awesome. When we had the Alan Wake 2 dev streams last year, I think the first one was with Petri, and his stories were amazing that he brought to the table of
you can go watch that on
it's on our
online,
YouTube.
Obviously. So.
It's on our YouTube channel. Yeah, if you want to watch the Alan Wake 2 dev streams, they're there. They're great.
Are we always going to be limited to 3 players?
From the sense of, are we ever going to expand it past a 3-player maximum? Yes. The entire game was built around 3-player crews. We talk about this sometimes. Some people ask, like, oh, what about 4 players, or why isn't it 4 players? And I totally understand. Some people have that gaming group and it's built at that number. Some people have different numbers in their gaming group, etc. And you can never make anything perfect for everybody. But I can say that we actually experimented with and tested 4 players. We just found that this game, as I think you probably just saw, has a lot going on. There's a lot of importance on being next to people. It just felt so overwhelming to go more than 3 players. And we just found that this was the sweet spot for this game, and that's why we kind of locked in, and we don't have any plans on changing that.
And one final one. Anything we can say about accessibility settings in any capacity?
I guess we could say that, of course, this is on our mind, and that is a gigantic range of things, and there's so much, and what we're doing right now is we're trying to prioritize the most important things that we can do and what we can tackle. We're also building additional plans into our post-launch just to make sure that we can continue to create those options for people, and so, it'd be impossible to unpack all that goes into that conversation here, but yes, it is on our mind, and we are trying to make sure that we prioritize the right features for the community with that.
Yeah. Cool.
That's all I had.
That is all the time we have for today's stream. Thanks to all of you who came to watch this stream today. Thank you to Mike and Thomas for being here today and taking time from your busy schedules to be on the show. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Vida, for taking care of chat.
Wait, can I shake your hand on stream?
Left hand. Awesome. What are we like, opening a new train station or something?
I really shout out to you, Julius, because you've done so much work on this stream everywhere.
And also,
kudos to you.
Thank you to Mika and Henrietta for playing with us earlier. Let me recap what we announced today, because I saw some people come in after the announcements part. So, recapping, the deluxe edition of the game is coming out. That includes the Firestarter Apex Revision Armor Set. That includes, actually, let me show you that while I am saying that to make it more visual. There we go. So, The Deluxe Edition includes the Firestarter Apex Revision armor set that you see over there, the Scorched Remnant double barrel shotgun skin, the Golden Firebreaker spray, and 2 unique voice packs, all of which unlock immediately when you purchase it, and the Classified Requisition Firestarter. Then the game will have the Standard and Deluxe Edition, $39.99 in euros and dollars for the Standard Edition, $32.99 in pounds for the UK, and then the Deluxe Edition, $49.99 in dollars and euros, and $39.99 in British pounds. We could actually mention that we also have regional pricing for this.
Yeah.
So if your price is not visible here, don't worry, we're going to have regional pricing. Yeah. And of course, the game launches on June 17th on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and it will be available day one on PC, Game Pass, and Game Pass Ultimate, and for all PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium members. If you've liked what you saw today, then please wishlist the game. It helps us a ton, and it boosts us in the different algorithms of the different storefronts. The link to playfirebreak.com should be coming into both the chats very, very, very soon. So go there, wishlist it. We will really appreciate that. And if you missed any part of the stream, or you just want to watch it again to see some of the cool gameplay or hear Mike's wonderful explanations, the VOD will be available immediately on our YouTube channel once the stream ends. If you'd like to talk with other people who are excited about FBC Firebreak, maybe you want to find other people to play with when the game comes out on June 17th, join our Discord server, which is discord.gg/control. Link to that also is in the chat right now. And very, very lastly, please make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, and YouTube. Links to those, I believe, will be in chat as well. Yes, there they are. Right, that's it for the stream today. Thank you so much once more.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It has been an absolute blast.
It was a blast. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Are we rating?
Do we have someone in mind to raid on Twitch?
We do have someone in mind.
Okay, we're going to raid someone, but this is just for Twitch. YouTube and Steam folks, this won't be for you.
But we like you.
But we like you. We like you. We like you. You're great. You're great.
This is not for you.
So who are you rating?
We are rating. I'm. Help me. All right, there we go. Someone is playing Control, and I think it's their second playthrough.
Let's do it.
My laptop is very much dying, but
Let's
I'm
do
gonna
it.
click Start Raid.
Oh, okay, you're doing it. Wonderful.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
doing it. And
All right.
folks, if you type !raid message in the Twitch chat, you will see the raid message.
You will indeed.
And that should help you out. I think the
I
raid
feel
message
like
should
somebody
be
calling me right now.
The old men are laughing. The raid message is caps lock. This is the ritual to lead you on.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And say hello to Zan Yon Twitch.
All right.
See ya, everyone. We're raiding out. And then once that's gone through,